guys. So, one more video after I eat. I'm gonna hit the hay. So, I'm not really. I have a mixed perception. I have a mixed love. Like I have a mixture of people that like me and people that can't stand me, and I could tell by their energy. Now, one rule about me as of now, how you feel is not going to affect how I feel. I was a fool at one point. Excuse me. Somebody on here told me, don't let another person's actions, be the deciding factor of how you feel. Like when I was experiencing what I was in Florida, we ain't gonna go backwards, but when I was in Florida, I was no better than what I complained about. And this is really my mission at this point. I want to do content where I'm explaining, because another thing about me, I can explain myself. I can articulate why I feel this way now. I'm not going to just tell you. I'm not just going to give you the whole generic, oh, hate is wrong, love thy neighbor, and not explain myself. I want to break it down why you shouldn't feel this way. But in this video, because I'm like I said, I have people that don't like me, and there's people that do like me. And the people that don't like me, they don't know how to deal with me because they're not used to mostly somebody that's not going to go back and forth with them. Like I mentioned, like I've always been the non-confrontational type. Don't like imposing anything on people. Like I'm not an assertive. I'm not very assertive, and I don't like imposing what I feel on others. But they don't know how to deal with you when you refuse to go back and forth. If we just don't agree, if we can't find common ground, that's just what it is. The girl last week, I said to her face, like, are you like upset? Are you getting mad because we don't do this at work? And she didn't know what to say. Like, even when we were cool, we couldn't have a real conversation about anything that mattered, because when I would bring up to her, like, hey, this is what I read today, what do you think about that, she had nothing to contribute to the conversation. So that is enough on. It's not this not video is not going to be about her, but it's like, these are the kind of people that I work with. They just, like I said, not everybody is bad, but this is not the end. This should not be the end. This should be like a stepping stone for most people, like the young people there. Like I'm gonna just throw this in this little trivia. The guy who I think is who I thought was a little impaired. Now I'm not saying it in a bad way, but he was watching I think it was Instagram on his phone, and he was saying that Michael Blackson, the comedian, said that somebody asked him, what's the capital of the United States? And he said North Philly. And I was just like, man, that's not the capital. It's Washington D.C. And I thought about it for 20 seconds. I was like, hey, hold up. It actually was the capital. Philadelphia was the nation's capital at one point. I said, he's actually right. And he said, but North Philly. He said North Philly isn't. That's not. I was explaining to him that Philadelphia is the entire city. It doesn't matter which part, but he was being he was being what he is. He's a comedian, but it actually is the capital. So I was like, he wasn't wrong, because it was a capital for 10 years. I just had to think about it. I was like, actually, it was our nation's capital at one point. But and this goes back to the other guy. I know I'm all over the place with the video, but the other guy who I was briefly talking to, he didn't understand why I would look at every subject on my phone and my books, he didn't really understand that. I had to break it down to him why I study, because I'm trying to prepare myself for school. But here's the thing. I take this time to learn new words. It's more of enduring enough time for reading, understanding what I read, and not stopping. Because with school, when you do various subjects, my mom is trying to finish her, she's about to graduate, I'm thinking next year. But you have to be able to study nonstop 5 to 6 hours a day. I'm only at 3 hours right now. It may not seem like my dad said, because when I throw trivia at him, he one day just said out of the blue, you son, you don't have to, be a doctor or a scientist. You just need a good job. But it's like he emphasized education, like to me, only just to bully me, and you know like just to show his authority over me, because he understood at that time I didn't appreciate education. I disrespected it to where I didn't do my homework, I didn't study. He just wanted to abuse his authority over me by shoving something down my throat that I didn't really care for. But now that I appreciate it, now he talks down on it. Well, he doesn't talk down on education, but he doesn't value it as much because it's something that I enjoy. That's what I'm trying to say. Because one thing about me, like I said, I will explain myself. When I make these videos, when I talk, when I'm speaking out against hate, when I'm telling you it's bad energy, negativity's bad, hate's bad, racism bad, sexism bad, I want to explain to you why this is. I'm not going to just give you a generic response. Oh, just love everybody, hate's wrong. No, I want to break it down piece by piece why I feel this way. Because another thing is, people don't like explaining themselves. I will explain to you why you should adopt this philosophy. What I'm preaching to you, I'm gonna break it down piece by piece. But with school, like I said, he was saying like, oh yeah, you don't need to be a doctor, you need to be a scientist, you just need to have a good job. But think about it like this. Think of our abilities as humans. We have the ability to think. You don't got to be the smartest guy in the world, but if you can remember your name, you can remember the periodic table, you can remember the Constitution, you can remember the Ten Amendments. It just takes it's just it's a process. You may not get it the first few times, but it'll be saved in your brain after 2 months, over a year. You don't have to reread it. It'll be saved. If you make anything a habit, it'll be automatically saved in your brain. But if, like I said, if you can remember your name, you can remember anything. It's just, what is it that you want out of life? What do you want out of life? Do you want to just work a regular boring job and be miserable? Not experience excitement, adventure, and change? Do you want to just do the same? Do you want to just go through the motions in life, or do you want to experience another side? Like, do you want to experience what a career is like? Because with me, this is, like I said, it's a good job. I treat it like it's my first day. But I want to see what a career. What is it like working for working a career for a big corporation, for a big company? What's that like? What's it like working a white collar job? You know, what's it like having a college degree? What's it like having a wide variety of knowledge? What's it like having making six figures? I'm not trying to be rich, but I'm saying, what's it like? What's it like to do this? That's where I'm at right now. Because I just don't feel like with our abilities we should just limit ourselves to low level jobs, because in the future robots are going to be doing these jobs. AI is going to dominate manual labor. But just think about it. Other species don't have our abilities, and we just limit ourselves to 9 to 5 low level jobs. That's what you want to do with your life? You want to just work fast food? You want to just work retail? You don't want to go further than that? Because like I told you, my favorite animals are are cats. cats and yeah, just cats for now. Just cats. I feel cats aren't considered the smartest animals. They're not even on. They're not even considered in the conversation. I think monkeys are like probably like number one or two with smartest animals. But just think about it like this: if cats had our abilities, can you imagine how much would get accomplished if cats could had the abilities that we did? If they had the brain power we have, if they had the ability to talk. I mean, cats can't talk like how I'm talking. They have their own language, however they communicate with each other. I haven't like really delved into like cat biology. I don't know how they communicate. But if they had our abilities, can you imagine how much stuff would get done if cats could do the things humans can do? If you could trade, if you just want to limit yourself to just a regular job, I feel like it should be like a way where you should just transfer over your abilities with another species because like with the job, if you don't take your job serious, and just how if you don't take life serious, you should just trade in your responsibilities because cats don't have real responsibilities, but you should trade in your responsibilities and your abilities with somebody else that I feel would value it more because this is truly how a society builds when we go above and beyond our expectations, when we just limit ourselves to the basics, we just go through the motions in life. This our society is just like we are. I'm not gonna make it like we're not an advanced society. We are an advanced society, but when we just limit ourselves to the basics, it's just like what is that really living? Is that really life? Just think about that.